All right, first and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Basham Shah. And I'll say shalom to the hopeful elect out there that's scattered across to the four corners of the earth, that's preaching and trucking through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Shah every single day. Shalom to your brothers out there. I would like to do a long video on this, but I got something to go and do. But this was on my mind all day. I just wanted to talk about it a tad bit, but, I'm going to tell this one right here. I may do a part 2 to it. You in captivity when you're uncomfortable around your own people. Yeah. You uncomfortable, you in captivity when you are uncomfortable around your own people. Hey, but those curses, they did the job on the nation of Israel, and we still here. As long as we are still here, we are still in Esau's kingdom. We are under these curses. Yes, Yahweh Shah is flipping the script, but we still here. We still got to deal with these wicked ass 2/3 Israelites. And this is part of our punishment, for going off, as an entire nation. The nation of Israel has an evil eye towards their own brother. Our own women hate us, our own people, they don't build each other up. They crabs in a bucket, saying things like, oh yeah, you want to act white and you want to do well for yourself. Yeah. Those curses did the job on the nation of Israel, but 2/3 of our people, they ain't going to make it, but we got to endure until the very, very end. We got to endure this. We got to endure the crap from our own people, not just these heathen nations in Esau. We got to endure this bullshit from these wicked 2/3 Django's, these wicked 2/3 Uncle Ruckus Israelites. Hey, whatever we have to go through, we just got to go through it. I just wanted to, bring this out. But it's crazy, you can't even go up to your own people, man. You can't even dap your own brother up. Yeah, you can't trust people, man. You can't trust your own family. You can't trust anybody. You can't trust co-workers. You can't trust anybody. And it's always your own people that's targeting you, man. It's always your own people. Just like Yahweh Basham Shah said, started my sanctuary first, because these 2/3 are more wicked than Esau. Yes, Esau is the reason, but these 2/3, man, these 2/3 is something else. This is why, we can't get out of here fast enough, because these 2/3, they want Esau to come with us. Our people don't want to rule. This is why 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed. This is why 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, man. This entire place needs an entire reset button, and it's beautiful, that we live in the times that we're living in, because, it's just too much wickedness out here, and that wickedness has reached the heavens. And how about Shah? He is tired. He is tired, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. We just had that blood moon yesterday. That's a sign, of Yahweh Shah coming. Yahweh Shah is coming. These chariots are present. They just waiting on the green light from the Father Yahweh. Yahweh Shah cannot wait to deliver his elect. And Lord willing, I'm part of that grateful glorious number. And I say that very, very humbly, because this is a humbling experience, to be able to do videos, just to, continue learning in this truth, watching videos, just continuing to just learn. It's very, very, very humbling, but it's also a scary thought, because Yahweh Basham Shah, he could take the spirit off of anybody at any time. He don't care about how much This is why it's very, very important that you are humble, and you got to be careful of how you walk in, and it's true. Yeah, we ain't perfect. I ain't perfect either. I'm not perfect either, but, we just got to be humble, man, because nobody is better than nobody. Yahweh Basham Shah is the one that gave us this truth, and I'm very, very grateful for this, but I don't want to get off subject. That you are in captivity, when you're uncomfortable around your own people, because your own people, they want to take from you. They don't want to build you. They don't want to help each other, And we're a separate people, man. We are the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And the book of Genesis states that. But we are fucked up. We are a fucked up people, man. We all need healing. We need healing because the whole nation is just fucked up. Yeah. But hey, call halal Yahawashi Shah, that we're living in these times, because, he's going to be separating the wheat from the tares, and, we just living in that time where it's like, you can feel energies and, you can just see people for just who they are. Yeah. Yeah. Watch out for Esau, but watch out for your own people too, because our own people are going to be the ones delivering us up. Just like our own people delivered up Yahweh Shah. We want Babbers. We want Babbers. Yeah. And then when this RFID chip becomes mandatory, oh, trust me, your own people, they're going to be the first ones trying to deliver you up. Oh, yeah, line for Yahweh Shah. Yeah, he was the one over there, preaching about Yahweh Shah. He told me not to go and take the RFID microchip. Yeah, and then they're going to deliver you up. It's why we got to stay close to Yahweh Shah. It's why we got to, trust Yahweh Shah. We can't be out here, trusting man's words. Yeah. There's a reason that Yahweh Shah has those titles, the King of Terrors, and El Shaddai, a demon-like power. He is the King of Terrors, man. You cannot outplay, you cannot out-chess Yahweh Shah. And see, that's how Esau Edom thinks. He thinks that he can control prophecy. He thinks that he can out-chess Yahweh Shah. You can't. The greatest nation on the face of the earth. And look how much he trashed us. He trashed the entire nation of Israel. It just goes to go show you that he is a respecter of no persons, man. You're going to do what Yahweh Shah says, or you're just going to face those brutal consequences from Yahweh Shah, and it ain't pretty. But hey, the whole nation's going to get restored, because this whole nation, we all need healing. I need healing. It's just crazy, how our people, we all out here, trying to get this word out. They still out here, trying to build businesses and, talking about working and, talking about, all kind of fuck shit. They ain't talking about repenting and getting right, Yeah. They out here sniffing that, and doing and smoking and shit. Yeah. Our people ain't trying to get right, man. They still want to be niggas and shit. But hey, Yahweh Shah, he's going to correct all that. He's going to correct all that. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this video out. Just crazy how, you can't even go up to your own people, and just dap them up, and, just kick it with them and, just have a cookout, without somebody fussing, arguing, setting you up and gossiping and shit. We need the kingdom of Yahweh Shah, and we need that quickly. But yeah, y'all just wanted to bring this out, giving our praise Yahweh Shah, and I'll be coming to you guys with another audio clip soon. Peace.